all three of us are in pretty much agreement on the nominees for Best Drama Actor. It's certainly going to be Gabriel Byrne, Bryan Cranston, Michael C. Hall, Jon Hamm, Hugh Laurie. But when we get to that 5th and 6th slot, this is where you guys wander off cliffs. And I think that, Rob, you are over the cliff. You're splat on the rocks below. How is it that you could not be picking Kiefer Sutherland for 24, but you're going with James Spader? Now, that's lunacy. That as a lawyer, I'm putting you in the dock right now to defend that here in Emmy court.
Listen, come on. That is not a crazy choice. Okay, just think about this, okay? There was a couple of years there where you could have had Mahatma Gandhi, Jesus Christ, you could have had anybody nominated and James Spader was still going to win, okay? I know it was based on panels, but James Spader can do no wrong. He's won about 8,052 Emmys. He just keeps winning. He is beloved by voters, by all those vanilla beige voters that just like to tick off names and move on with what they're doing during the day. They're going to see James Spader's name and they're going to be so tempted to tick off his name again. They love him.
Wait a minute.
Okay?
They're so
is
tempted
going to be nominated.
They're going to be so tempted to pick Spader's name over Sutherland? No.
Yeah, they will. They
Why?
will.
Sutherland
he comes
beloved.
before Sutherland on the ballot. They're going to tick him and they're going to realise they've already ticked enough. They love him, Tom. They love him.
I think Sutherland was
yes.
beloved. Look at that season where 24 didn't even get into drama series, but Sutherland still made lead actor that year.
Yeah, look, the same can be said for Kiefer Sutherland, but I just think he's going to get nominated in TV movie actor anyway. and if he gets 2 Emmy nominations in 2 different categories for the same role, I'm going to vomit.
Reaching, Rob.
Please.
You are so reaching. Come on here. Straighten him out, Boomer. Why? Come on. He is crazy. How can they not pick Kiefer Sutherland? Yeah.
And you've even got 24 nominated for drama series, and you don't think they're going to pick Kiefer Sutherland?
Ooh, ouch, that stinks.
I know.
Defend that, Rob. Go ahead, defend that. How do you have, we've caught you there. Admit it, we've caught you.
Yeah, maybe. Look, I told you before, it's like shooting fish in a barrel. It's really, let's just throw something at the wall and see what happens. Kiefer Sutherland, if he makes it in, great. I'm going to be really thrilled with that. I mean, I'd rather him than James Spader. So, you know.
And I
look,
say,
can I just? Go ahead, Tom.
What? Now that we've got your back to a wall, you want to keep fighting? Go ahead.
Well, all I can say is, like, if Kiefer Sutherland makes it in, just say Kiefer Sutherland and James Spader make it in because Emmy voters can't help themselves. Who is not going to make it in that list? That's a killer list.
No, I think that there is no way Spader gets back. I think Chris has a great theory about when a show hits its peak. Even though they're automatic Emmy nominees year after year after year, they suddenly fall off the radar. I think there's no way that Spader gets in this time. We know that there is normally in this race, in every major Emmy contest, one big newcomer. And the big newcomer this year is Simon Baker. So I think there has to be a place in the 6 for Simon. So I think that you can't get around Bryan Cranston, Gabriel Byrne, Michael C. Hall, Jon Hamm, Hugh Laurie, and I think Kiefer Sutherland is an automatic lock. My 6th is Simon Baker, and neither one of you guys have him on your list. Why?
Well, he's right there. I've got him close.
I
really, really think he's got a good shot. He is in the #1 show of the whole season, probably the only broadcast show that's had any kind of popularity of the new shows, certainly enough to get it. They're getting the after CSI slot this fall on Thursday nights, so that shows you how popular that show is. Absolutely, he could make it in. And the one name out of all the ones you said that I think might be vulnerable would be a Gabriel Byrne, because I think everybody else is so locked into making it. Gabriel Byrne, it's a very quiet performance. I don't know that he is 100% locked in, but Simon Baker could certainly make it into this category.
I hope so. Look, that'd be great. He's my hometown boy. Like, it'd be great to see him in there. But I don't know. I can't see it. I just don't think the procedural apart from Hugh Laurie's going to do it. I don't know. I just think that what kind of range does he have? I mean, maybe that doesn't matter. Like, maybe we're overthinking it. He's popular, you know, people love him. He's got a great new show. But there are just so many others. I'll just hope that if someone's going to surprise us, can it please be Denis Leary or someone like that? Simon Baker, he's a great actor, but The Mentalist, Yeah, no, it's not very Emmy friendly. Do you really think it's that Emmy friendly?
Yeah, he's got that kind of tragic backstory of his wife having been killed, and he's responsible for ticking off the serial killer and responsible for her death. Assuming he gets nominated, he'll submit the pilot, which sets up that backstory. So it is one of the few real I know what you're saying. It's not a very showy role dramatically, but it is in terms of this periodic backstory that's told in subplots and which features prominently in the pilot. Now let's get to your point about Denis Leary and Michael Chiklis. These guys, these FX stars, are both on the cusp here. They've both been nominated. Chiklis has won in the past, but none of us have those guys on our lists. Why?
I think it was very surprising. I think it was very surprising after Michael Chiklis had that huge shocker of a win several years ago that he didn't get nominated very much after that at all. Was he nominated again after that? Maybe one more year, and then they just totally gave up on that show and that performance. So that one is surprising. I don't know why they would all of a sudden go back to it at this stage with the show finishing. Denis Leary, though, is another question because he should be. Given credit also for the fact that he produces the show, he writes, co-writes all the episodes. So I think he is very, very liked and respected within the industry. Would not surprise me at all to see a nomination here. The category is so stacked with people, I don't know how he fits in.
Yeah, look, pardon the pun, but Denis Leary is on fire at the moment, and it would be great to see him in this list. There is not enough room, though, okay? We have all these heavy hitters. And we have about 4 or 5 guys on the sidelines waiting to pounce, and he's one of them. Michael Chiklis, he has had so many critics hailing his performance, especially in that finale. I mean, that's just something else. But unfortunately, Emmy voters cooled on the Shield. It's a real shame. So I think Denis Leary has the best shot, maybe along with Simon Baker.
Now, many other years in TV history, I mean, if you had the names we have named not in our actual predictions, plus, say, a Bill Paxton for Big Love and a Jonathan Rhys-Meyers for The Tudors, all of those 5 or 6 people would have easily made it in, even Edward James Olmos. I mean, there's so many, but the drama is maybe at the best quality level it's ever been in the history of television in terms of the number of good dramas on the air. It's just hard to push through. It's hard to push through. And the 6 guys that make it here and the 6 ladies that make it into lead actress ought to be really, really, really proud of that accomplishment because it really says something when you're getting nominated in these kind of categories.
Yeah. Not to mention Lawrence Fishburne, Tim Roth. There's a lot of guys ready to make it through.
Lawrence Fishburne could make it through, couldn't he? Just based on that movie cachet. They're suckers for that. And, of course, it was a nice cast change this year to see him pop up. He got a lot of critical acclaim. It's a big broadcast show. It could happen.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's possible. He's a Tony winner, is that right?
No,
I know he was nominated last year. Yeah. Oscar nominee, past Emmy winner, so definitely, yes.
And we don't have
in this category...
Go ahead.
Sorry, Tom. I just wanted to quickly say that I'm really hoping Bryan Cranston can make it through again. He should win again. He was brilliant.
He'll get in. There's no doubt about that. Having won, that gets you an automatic pass the next year, doesn't it? At least to get nominated.
Yeah.
Kyle Chandler.
And we've got to say, Tom, you were really the only media person in the whole world last year that had Bryan Cranston winning, and you didn't make that prediction until about 3 days before the Emmys.
Right, exactly, right.
You really put your ears to the wind out there in Hollywood and heard some rumblings that he might be the one, and you jumped out on there on the ledge that nobody else was willing to even consider, and you had him winning, and I think you even surprised him with that prediction.
Right. And I won't say who, but a senior executive of AMC was among the people who said I was crazy for picking their own star to win. But I stand proven right.